Have you ever spent weeks, maybe months, working on a project only to realize it and realize nobody actually wants it? Or worse, you build exactly what the customer asked for, but by the time it launches, the market has completely moved on, rendering your product totally obsolete. In traditional project management, this happens all the time. Up to 70% of traditional IT and business projects fail to deliver their expected value. Why? Because of poor business justification. Welcome back to PMLearn. I am today in today's masterclass, we are diving deep into chapter of the Scrum Body of Knowledge, Business Justification in Scrum. We are going to break it down using extremely simple terms and a highly relatable real world example. Our hypothetical pet taxi startup called PetGo. By the end of this video, you will know exactly how Scrum handles business value, who's responsible for it, and why Scrum obliterates the old school waterfall model when it comes to financial return. Hit that subscribe button, ring the bell, and let's get started. So, let's start at the beginning. What is business justification? Simply put, it's the answer to the question, why are we spending this money? Before an organization writes a single line of code, initiates a process, or hires a single contractor, key decision makers must understand why the change is necessary, what the expected benefits are, and how we prove that moving forward is a smart financial move. In traditional projects, this is a massive, static 100-page document called the business case. In Scrum, we do things differently. We start with a highly focused, highly aligned document called the project vision statement. Let's look at how this plays out in the real world. Let's say you want to build an Uber-like app for busy pet owners who need their dogs or cats safely transported to the vet or grooming appointments. You call it PetGo. If you were using traditional project management, you hire consultants, write a giant business plan, estimate cost for the next 3 years, and get a signature from a VP who might not even be at the company next year. In Scrum, the product owner collaborates with stakeholders to draft a razor-sharp project vision statement. It says, busy metropolitan parents need a trusted on-demand transport service for their animals. PetGo provides verified GPS-tracked pet drivers, reducing pet owner stress by 80% and capturing 10% of city's pet transport market within 12 months. Boom! It's clear, realistic, and instantly aligns senior management, the product owner, and the developers. No code is written without this anchor. Now, who actually makes sure this value is delivered? Scrum defines clear responsibilities for business justification across 3 core rules. Let's break them down. First, the product owner. If this was a movie, the product owner is the executive producer. They are 100% accountable for the business value of the project. They look at PetGo and decide which features like GPS tracking or in-app payments will generate the highest ROI first, and they prioritize them in the product backlog. Second, the Scrum Master. Think of them as the facilitator. They don't decide what to build, but they protect the team, remove roadblockers like API access delays, and make sure the Scrum process is working flawlessly so value can flow. Third, the Scrum team. These are your designers and developers. They are self-organized, highly collaborative, and they convert those prioritization items into working, testable app increments in every single sprint. This brings us to a massive problem with traditional projects. Traditional models suffer from obsolescence. Imagine you justified building PetGo in January based on the market conditions back then. But the September a massive competitor launches a similar app, or gas prices double. In traditional project management, you are locked into a contract and a fixed plan. You keep building according to the old plan only to release a useless product in December. In Scrum, we use continuous value justification. We evaluate market conditions every single sprint. If something changes, the product owner updates the backlog instantly. So, how do we maintain this justification in real time? First, we practice continuous value evaluation. We monitor competitor moves and feedback on the PetGo beta app. Second, we use a dynamic product backlog. We don't build features just because they were in the initial plan. If pet profile batches turn out to be low value, they are moved down or dropped. Third, we have stakeholder verification. Every 2 to 4 weeks during the sprint review, stakeholders look at the working PetGo app increment and say, yes, this is tracking perfectly towards our business goal. Let's keep going, or wait, let's pivot. Now, how does the product owner actually calculate if a project or a feature is justified? Scrum utilizes classic proven financial tools but applies them in an adaptive way. Let's make this super simple. ROI, return on investment. This is basic math, net profit upon cost. For PetGo, if building a GPS tracking feature cost $10,000 but it allows us to charge premium rates generating $15,000 in profit, or ROI is excellent. NPV, net present value. This adjusts for time. Money today is worth more than money tomorrow due to inflation. We calculate if the $100,000 we spend on PetGo today is worth more than the future cash flows we expect in 2 years. IRR, internal rate of return. Think of this as the interest rate. If PetGo has an IRR of 15%, that's way better than putting our $100,000 capital in a bank account earning 4% interest. BCR, benefit cost ratio. Benefit divided by cost. A BCR of 1.6 means for every dollar we invest in building PetGo, the business gains $1.60. Let's walk through the entire pipeline. In Scrum, business justification flows seamlessly from first ideation, where we create the initial vision and high-level case. Second, prioritization, where we organize backlog items based on value, ROI, and risk. Third, inspection, where we check actual software in reviews. Fourth, realization, where we ship parts of the app to real users to start making money early. Check out this chart on screen right now. This is the ultimate proof of Scrum's superiority. In traditional waterfall, you spend 100% of your budget, but you ship 0% value to users until the very end. Your risk is extremely high because you don't make a single dollar back during the build phase. In Scrum, we launch a minimum viable product, MVP. Say a basic version of PetGo where users can manually call a pet taxi. Within just 3 months, by month 3, you are already realizing 40% of potential value and bringing in revenue. By month 6, you have hit 85% value, allowing you to fund the rest of development directly from sales. This dramatically cuts financial risk. And that, my friend, is why business justification in Scrum is a game changer. It turns justification from a static, dusty document into an active value delivering engine for your business. If you enjoy this masterclass, smash that like button, subscribe to PMLearn for more simplified agile guides, and drop a comments below. If you were launching PetGo, what is the first high value feature you would build in Sprint 1? Until next time, I'm your host. Keep learning, keep leading, and I will see you in the next masterclass.